comfy here to talk to you, to see if I have anything to say. The one line that was in my mind was, you are not the cause of my pain and suffering. And he or she, they are not the cause of your pain or suffering or anxiety or heartache or pain, whatever it may be. And you may think that they're the cause of your happiness, but they're really not. All these things, they must come from inside you, otherwise they're temporary. Otherwise, it's worldly values which are meaningless because they counteract each other. They like pain and pleasure, happiness and sadness. This is not the values that I'm talking about. The happiness that I'm talking about comes from the inside of you, and when it's missing, you can't blame it on somebody out there. It's something that's happening in your own mind. So you have the cure. You have the answer. When you're aware that this is what's happening in your life, you can realize that you have the answer. The answer is to heal that part of your mind. So when discomfort is aroused in yourself, what most people would do, guilt or discomfort, what they would do would be to repress it. I talked to a lady a long time ago that had a tragedy in her family, and they were all friends of mine. I love them dearly. Spent a lot of time with them. And they had a tragedy in their family, and I asked the mother a few years later, what do you do with that tragedy? And she said, you put it down in the basement in a trunk and you seal it up and you forget about it. I kind of didn't ring true. I didn't like that. I kind of thought about it, because she's whatever she can do for comfort, to comfort herself, but that's a temporary fix. What you want is a permanent fix. You don't want things down in your basement inside some trunk that some unforeseen circumstance or entity or whatever could open that trunk. You just pop open. What's to hold it from popping open? There's no lock on it. Do you put a lock on it? Just pops open and those things come out and they cause disturbances. So when guilt and discomfort is in our life, we want to bring it to the surface, look at it, say, okay, let's eliminate that. And you have a source, you have a perfection inside of you that will look at these things with you. No matter who you are, you have that perfection inside you. It's your source that can look at the circumstance with you. And instead of hiding it somewhere in your life, you expose it to your source, to your perfection, and you allow it to be released. And get it out of your life, and you don't have to deal with it anymore. This is an inside job that's happening all over the earth, in everybody. As it happens in me, as it happens in you, there's only one mind. We think there's thousands of minds, but there's only one mind. See, this body has no purpose in itself. And the brain can't function on its own either. If you take away the mind, the body and the brain will just drop to the ground. It'll be nothing. You can see its purpose. It doesn't, it doesn't have a purpose, or it has a purpose, but it is not the purpose for your life, the body. So I wake up in the morning and I think, I got to brush my teeth, body. Got to eat something, body. Get a cup of coffee, body. I got to read something, body. We think it's the mind, but it's the brain. We're intellectualizing ourselves, so we give ourselves some intellectual whatever. And then we go on to our job, and we're doing and doing and doing. We're at our job. We take a break. We eat lunch. We come home. We be with the kids. We want to satisfy this body and this mind that is an egotistical mind constantly. So what it does is keeps us from the the idea or the realization that we have a mind. Most of the time we're just using our body and our brain. We're not even going back into our mind to find things. And even though our mind is perfect, we cut a chunk out of it. It's one way of putting it. And we made an ego when we put it there. An ego is an illusion. It's not real. And it will dissolve as we realize what is real. And as we let that reality come forth from inside of us, the kingdom, the source, the perfection, the wholeness, the completeness that you are, that is inside you as it comes forth. As these obstacles that we realize and see, we release them and free ourselves from them, more and more that center comes forth to shine brightly. And it shines in everybody because we're one. And so the more it happens to me, the more it happens to you, the more it happens to everybody. That's the way it works. I love you. Uh-oh. Don't say that in L.A. They'll get all over your case. See ya.